So I am now in Turkey. It was quite a pleasant trip for the most part. So I flew from London to Stansted. It was all pretty relaxed really. The plane was quite full. I was quite surprised about how many people were on the way to Istanbul, but it was fine. It was fairly pleasant. It was about a 3.5 hour flight. It was the first time I'd flown during COVID or since the pandemic, and that was quite strange, having to wear masks on the plane. And it was quite funny really. When I spoke to FUE Capilar in the lead up, they were brilliant in fairness. They sent through a picture of exactly where I'm meant to go after landing, and even recorded a video showing me the direction in which I'm to go and who I'm meant to meet. How it's depicted is that you're the only one that they're due to get. And then when I got there, it was all chaotic. There were so many people around. I found myself in a group of about 8 originally, albeit me and 6 ladies. I did wonder, first of all, whether I was actually in the right place. And after a few minutes, the guide, I guess, took us through to a different part of the terminal where we all got taxis. It was interesting really, because I was kind of segregated off by myself and just told to wait at the side of the road. And then after a few minutes, this van turned up and it was brilliant. It was really luxurious. It was kitted out to the nines. They had wireless phone chargers, they had TVs, they had leather seats. It was really, really good. And he took me to the hospital initially to go and get a blood test. Now, the journey probably took a good sort of 20-25 minutes. As soon as we got to the hospital, we were in and out within 90 seconds, 2 minutes max. It was no time at all. We walked through the main doors and then literally into a side room straight away where the doctor was ready. He knew who I was, sat me on the table, stuck a needle in my arm. He gave me a bit of cotton to put against it, and we were back out the door. The driver took me to the hotel, Mercure Hotels. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's a 4-star hotel. Really, really nice. I'm in a lovely room on the 6th floor. Got fantastic view out the window. You know, I must have arrived 9 o'clock, pushing 9:30, so I hadn't eaten. I looked on Google Maps. There was nothing really open or anywhere nearby, but what they did have in the room was a menu and room service, and I've never ordered room service before. I think I just ordered a hamburger and chips. It came to 48 lira, which is about £4, £4, British pounds. You know, incredibly reasonable price, and literally brought to my room within 10 minutes of ordering. So far, really, really good experience. You know, I'm doing something which I hope will give me a lot of confidence. Let you know how tomorrow goes.
Good morning. I slept okay last night. I struggled to get to sleep, but I think that was less to do with the bed and things like that. It was more just to do with nervousness. The one thing I wasn't sure about was about taking caffeine. Now, I drink coffee, not loads and loads of it, but I'll drink coffee a couple of times a day, a few times a day. Now, I know other people or other clinics have advised them not to have any coffee or caffeine 7 days prior or after the surgery. I've not been given any of that advice not to do that. I haven't clarified with them, so I might do that today, but I mean, I've had a coffee this morning, and I had a coffee last night as well. And if I'm not told any different, then I'll be having one later on. So yeah, 45 minutes and then we're good to go.
Well, good evening everyone. So I had my first part of the procedure. I'm quite tired and I feel a little bit woozy, so I'll try and explain it in the best way possible. But I think first of all, let's have a quick look at the results. This is where we are. So I can't bend down, but you can have a look from the top and then have a look from the side, the other side. Obviously that side they haven't finished yet. Yeah, overall I'm pretty pleased. They've taken 2001 grafts. Tomorrow they should do another 1500 to 2000 again, which would cover the rest of this side and the crown and the mid scalp. So if I start at the beginning of the day then, so I got up, had breakfast. Breakfast was pretty good. It was quite a good selection, and I had to be down at the lobby by 11:15, which I thought was quite reasonable. It was plenty of time to get ready. I was down there probably from about 1:30, and these two blokes were already down there. Now, I looked at them and they didn't come over to me, so I thought, oh, maybe they're there for somebody else. And it got to 1:45 and I saw one of them go over to the check-in desk and said, oh, they're looking for Samuel. And I thought, oh, right, okay, that's probably me. So I went over and said hi, and it was. They were just super early, which was really nice. Again, the transport was brilliant. You know, it was a really good setup, really professional, really, really nice. So it took me to the clinic and I met my translator, and I can't remember her name. It was a lady who was very friendly. She was from Argentina, and I was quite nervous, hence why I didn't take many photos or videos today. They took me straight into a room and went through some medical questionnaires, asked what my expectations were for the surgery. Dr. Turan came in, who was very pleasant. He then sat me down to begin designing the hairline and take some measurements. And I was really impressed with this because it was Dr. Turan plus his two technicians. And what they did was they took some measurements from the nose to the hairline, and they also used a special measurement from the eye through till the temple to make sure that the temples match. And I thought that was quite good. Then they drew a hairline. They were chatting amongst themselves, and clearly they weren't happy with what they had drawn. And so what was nice was that they rubbed it all out and started again to make sure they got it right. Then they put me in a mirror to make sure I was happy with it. And one thing I was quite keen to have was like a widow's peak style, a slight point in the middle, which they've done, which is really, really good, but wanting to keep it natural at the same time. So once we were happy with that, I then paid the money and I gave it to Dr. Turan, who counted it all in front of me, and I paid in British pounds, which there was an 18% tax to pay by card, so I paid £2,550 today, plus there was a best part of a £500 deposit, which I paid when I booked, so it was £3,000 altogether. So once we'd done that, they then translator took me into the next room in order to take some photos. So I took some photos of my hair with the hairline drawn, and from the front and sides and back. They were really punctual, which I liked. There was no waiting around whatsoever. Put me into the other room where they shaved my hair off, and then they showed me like a microscope into my existing grafts to check what the density was. Now they were saying that the average density would be 55 grafts per centimetre squared, I think they said. Now mine was 45 to 47, so slightly under, which I was expecting. I've not got the thickest of donor areas, but I think they were saying it almost to manage my expectations. So we moved from that room immediately into the operating theatre, where I put a gown on, and then went straight onto the operating table, where they put some pre-anaesthetic in, which I think is needleless. So it's just an air pressure. It almost sounds worse than it actually felt. It was like an elastic band hitting the back of your head. More of an annoyance rather than any real pain. And then they put the needle anaesthetic in, which hurt a bit more, but I'll probably say as a maximum about a 4 out of 10 in terms of pain. The pain lasts for only a matter of seconds. I mean, it feels weird because obviously it's going into your head. You're not used to having injections into your head, but again, it's nothing to lose sleep over at all. The extraction started, and it was a manual extraction on the side of my head to begin with. And everyone was really calm, everyone was really confident, which I liked. Everyone was really laid back as well, so it just showed me that they do a lot of these, and clearly they know what they're doing. I mean, the actual extraction physically was fine. I couldn't feel anything, but you could hear it, and that was the only thing. It does sound like a tear of the skin. You know, it isn't very nice to hear, but it certainly wasn't any pain. And I drifted off to sleep several times throughout the day. Dr. Turan came in and I laid on my back, and then he began doing the implantation process. So they gave me some more injections into the scalp, which again hurt, but again probably about a 4 out of 10. I probably should have asked for more anaesthetic. The implantation period for me hurt quite a bit, the first session. They had extracted 1,000 grafts, just over 1,000 grafts, 1,015 I think it was. And then we stopped for lunch. At that point my head was quite sore. And I told them that, and they said, look, that's completely normal. The lunch was chicken, rice, some peppers, some chips, and some bread. It was really nice with some hot soup. I'm certainly not the most healthiest, and it was the best meal I've had since I've come to Turkey, that's for sure. And it wasn't a particularly long lunch. I was halfway through my soup and they were like, are you ready? And I thought, well, yeah, let's get on with it. So went back in, and then the second period I laid on my front, and they used a motorized extraction tool on the back of my donor area. They had put some more anesthetic in the back, so that I didn't feel at all, and that was fine, and I just closed my eyes and rested. After that, they then sat me up and gave me a chocolate bar and some water, and just gave me 5 minutes just to kind of relax, which was nice. It was just a bit of a break, I think, for me and for everyone else. Everyone else had been working hard. And then Dr. Turan came in again. They'd done some more anaesthetic throughout the front. They did quite a bit this time. And then this time the implantation period was absolutely brilliant. I didn't feel a single thing. And we must have gone until 6:30. And then we finished for the day. So I think for the first day, I'm actually really pleased with how much they've done. So they've done 2,001 grafts, so 1,000, just over 1,000 in the first, just under 1,000 in the second. So that's really good. When I left the hotel, I don't think they meant to, but they put me in the wrong taxi. Probably in the taxi for about 5 minutes, and then the driver had to Google Translate saying you're in the wrong car, back to the hospital, and then I was put back in the van that I was in this morning. So that was fine. Got back to the hotel. What they've said to me tonight is that I can't bend over, so I'm trying to sort of keep myself upright as much as possible. They've given me a neck pillow and a big folder with some documents in there about sort of post-care instructions. They didn't give me any saline solution today, and they were saying that saline solution they need every hour, so I've only just realised that. So I mean, I haven't got it, so I assume it will be all right until tomorrow, and then maybe they'll give it to me. They did say I might have some leakage, and I can feel on my neck, I don't know if you can see it already. I'll see if I can go around. I can't turn my head, so hopefully you can see that. But yeah, I think there's already some leakage. I've not seen massive amounts of blood. So that's where we're at. They've also said to me I've got to sleep at a 45-degree angle, and they've given me some sheets just to soak up any of the liquid. So this is how I'm going to have to sleep tonight. So I've had to put this sort of sheet, which the clinic gave me. I'm feeling all right. I feel a little bit sore, but it's manageable. So I'm going to see if I can get some sleep without needing any meds. So see you tomorrow.